And they had coming off a bye week, so they've had a chance to get a little bit of healthy. As Dylan Brown with a short pooch kick that will hit about the 20, and boy, for Ole Miss, a fortunate bounce out of bounds. What could have been a dangerous situation turns into a good one for the Rebels. So for Ole Miss, this is an offense that I think a lot of folks don't realize they have been very successful running the football this year. They are first in the conference at 225 yards rushing per game. They've had some issues throwing the football, obviously, but John Rice Plumlee is the guy out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Anytime the ball was in his hands, I couldn't even take a break, says his high school coach. Take a breath, and obviously with Plumlee out there, you never know when a home run is just around the corner as he makes a man miss and has a big gainer to start this game out to midfield. That'll be a 14-yard pickup.
You see right off the bat, they get him involved in this offense and use him in the run game. They try to get you going one way and come back another way with the fake toss. And Plumlee's speed is going to outrun a lot of people on this defense.
Plumlee now with 614 yards rushing this season. We'll get that one to Ely, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage, but they'll spot his forward progress. About a half a yard gain when it's all said and done. Hodge comes up to make the play, but Plumlee, with those yards, has an Ole Miss freshman rushing record. And obviously with 3 games left, could approach 1,000 yards this season if he has some success. He'll take that one into the Aggie territory around the 45-yard line. Give him 5 there. Cedric Wilcox brings him down. Well, we talk about Ole Miss having success running the football. For New Mexico State, their defense, they have had trouble stopping the run. As that one is batted in the air and incomplete by Devin Richardson. And now it's 4th and 4.
Ole Miss trying to go quick, and they have what they want, but the safety just reads the eyes and comes out and make a play on it. And Devin Richardson gets a hand on it, which is pretty good. And you see Ole Miss lined up to go for it on 4th down.
Matt Luke telling us yesterday that inside the 50, he is not going to be bashful. Using all 4 downs to try to pick up the first down, and they get it here. As that one goes to the tight end, Jason Pellerin. Pellerin with his 10th catch of the year, now for 86 yards.
It's a wonderful job of recognition by Plumlee on the outside to get that first down.
Boy, some tough running from Ely. He'll get it near the 26-yard line. That's 12. A couple of missed tackles by the Aggies defensively allows the chains to move again.
You see Plumlee, you think he's a perimeter runner, but he said, I don't mind sticking my head in between the tackles and get some hard-earned yards.
Well, that was close to being picked up. Braylon Sanders, the intended target, but Lomax read that one, stepped up in front, knocked it to the turf. Plumlee only completes 48% of his passes. Came in 50 for 103. Boy, a little counter play. Good strong run from Ely. Jerry and Ely sticking his nose down and picking up 7 yards.
You see Newman come around 72 to left guard, kick out that end, creates a void for Ely to run through, and you see some tough, hard, physical runs early by Ely.
3rd down and 3. Empty set for the Rebels. That is batted in the air right off the hands of Jonathan Mingo, the true freshman. Now you're 4th down, you got to kick it away. Boy, you have to make these plays.
Yeah, these are plays that come back to haunt you later on because this is an easy first down.
Oh,
nice
boy.
throw there by Plumlee on the outside, and Mingo, who's been pretty sure-handed all year. You can see him turn his head upfield just a little bit, and that ball is dropped.
36-yard field goal attempt. Luke Logan, who's 9 of 15. You can make him 10 of 16. Ole Miss puts 3 on the board to start this one. 12:36 to go, opening frame here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. The opening drive was directed by John Rice Plumlee. Matt Corral to his left. We'll see him later on today, but opening 3 points under Plumlee's name as they lead New Mexico State 3-0 here. Early first quarter action. Matt Luke talking to us yesterday and asked him to describe this season, and he basically just says frustrating. They have been close. There are 4 games out there where they could have easily won. But you didn't, and that's the reality of it, and that's what he says. I mean, we could sit here and talk about it all we want, but I feel like we're close. Well, New Mexico State getting the ball for the first time today, and their quarterback, Josh Adkins, the redshirt sophomore out of Spring Branch, Texas. If you're a quarterback, you like playing in this Doug Martin offense. It is a true air raid attack, and so you get to sling it around quite a bit, completing 62% of his passes. When we talk about air raid, DJ, what exactly does that mean?
Well, it's a semblance of what they call the spread, and it's before the spread where you like to throw it around a lot, and a lot of guys out in different route concepts. But the air raid is an offense that quarterbacks love, like you mentioned, because there's so many opportunities to throw the football down the field and stretch your defense vertically.
So the youngster Adkins will hand it off to Tony Nicholson to start things off, and Tony gets it out to the 30-yard line. Maybe a touch past that before he is pushed backwards. Miles Hartfield, the senior corner, coming up to make the play. Give the Aggies 6 to start their opening drive.
Tony Nicholson, we saw there with the football in his hand, transfer from Baylor, has been a great addition for this offense and taking a lot of pressure off the quarterback, as well as Huntley, who we'll see in a minute.
Atkins will keep it as he fakes it to Huntley. He'll pick up a yard there. Speaking of Jason Huntley, folks, keep an eye on number 1 today. He is an electrifying talent, not only catching the football, running with the football. He's not a big guy, 5'9", 190 pounds, a senior out of Arlington, Texas, averaging 6.3 yards per carry. And he is something else. We saw him on tape this week and certainly got our attention. On third down, we'll throw over the middle, and pass is caught by Nicholson. That'll be a gain of 8 and a first down.
And this is day 1 install here. Slant flat on the outside. And he does a good job of delivering the football to Tony Nicholson, who's been a big part of this drive already. But the poise already of Atkins standing in the pocket and delivering it on a big third down conversion.
Another quick throw to the outside to Nicholson, dancing around, has 9 before he steps out of bounds right at midfield. He'll be about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of the first down.
But Dave, I like the game plan already from Doug Martin. A lot of quick stuff, trying to stretch the defense vertically as well as horizontally on their first play with the jet sweep, but everything is coming out of the hands quickly of Atkins, so this defensive line of Ole Miss can't get to him.
There's Huntley on the carry, picks up 3 between the tackles.
And we've seen on first down the last few plays, they've done a really good job of picking up positive yardage. That's the one thing they talked about, is we have to have really good production on first down so we're not in third and long.
First down and 10. 4-man rush. Underneath, big hit. That'll be a gain of 5. Time to get an update from Dari. What's going on?
Well, Dave, this could not have started worse for Alabama. The Tua Tagovailoa fumble, LSU touchdown, then Ty Pirine, the punter, takes it off the face. LSU turns that into a field goal. It's 10-zip Tigers, guys.
Oh.
You say couldn't go any worse for Alabama, but couldn't go any better for LSU, right?
Yeah, on the road. Usually you see that happen from the road team, but the home team making some untimely errors early in this ball game, and I don't think Alabama can afford to lose the crowd early.
4-man rush here. Atkins. He will get it back to the line of scrimmage. Henry coming up to make a stop for the Rebels defensively. He has been solid all year. At 9 tackles against Auburn, already has 3 here on this opening drive, and another third down situation.
And this is where they haven't been really good. New Mexico State's offense is 119th on third down, complete only 32%. But the yardage is what makes it manageable here, 3rd and 6, and everything is to the liking of Josh Atkins here.
Gibson goes in motion, so an empty set now. Ole Miss bringing an extra body on the pass rush. Atkins throws it up in the air, and that one is incomplete, trying to get Gibson. And now it's 4th down. You think about going for it here as you're at the 43-yard line.
This just has to be a better throw of football. I mean, you got what you want, a back on a linebacker on the outside and Willie Hibbler, and he floats it out there, give him a chance to come back to the football. That could have been a lot better play than it was if you had a better thrown football.
New Mexico State has been trying to find some points. They only average 18 points a game. That's 119th out of 130 FBS teams. And this drive stalls at the 43-yard line. Boy, short kick. Fair catch taken at the 18, but a flag came down at the line of scrimmage after a 25-yard punt. And we'll wait to see what this flag is all about. It was 4th and 6.
Illegal formation offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the kick. First down.
Thank you, Hubert. With that, we'll take a timeout. John Rice Plumlee back on the field to lead this Ole Miss offense when we come back. We honor all of America's heroes this week who have served and are currently serving in our nation's armed forces on this Veterans Day weekend. John Rice Plumlee will keep it and pick up 7 yards. The Ole Miss logo in the middle of the field looks great. The red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes.
Puts a lot of things in perspective for you, and like you mentioned, that stars and stripes does have a significant meaning when you look at it on the field today.
There goes Jerry and Ely, brought down by Richardson. Another gain of 7. That'll be good enough for a first down. Boy, I had a chance to spend some time with Ely yesterday. He is a confident young man. Asked if he's going to be nervous on his first career start, and his response was, "Are you nervous?" Saying it to me, "Are you nervous when you play bingo?"
It was. That stung me for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Still trying to figure out why.
I mean, did you tell him you play bingo?
I
or
don't
something?
know. Do I look like I'm a bingo guy? I don't know.
When I asked him later on, he said, "I had no idea why I said that. I just felt like bingo was the right thing to say at the time."
But it's what's sad is that's what came to his mind when he looked at me.
Oh man.
Second down after the loss of 2. Plumlee looking to throw. He's going to slip through a couple of Aggie defenders and get it close to the 40. That'll be a gain of 4, but now you're looking at a third down and relatively long.
Now we get an opportunity to see Ole Miss throw the football. This is where they have struggled throughout the season. You saw the stat early in the ball game about them being the #1 rush offense, but here's a third and long situation where you have to throw the football. Can John Rice Plumlee be accurate enough to do so?
Down the middle, he is accurate. First down and a whole lot more. Octavius Cooley with the 21-yard reception. Cooley's 12th catch of the year.
Look at his feet. His feet are under control, and he delivers. They strike right over the outstretched arms of Ferguson. Good touch, nice delivery. That is what you want to see when you want to see him throwing the football.
Old school toss sweep coming to Ely. He'll get a couple of yards. Devin Richardson with another stop for New Mexico State. Ely on the year has rushed for 428 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And I completely agree with what Coach said. He had to get the football 20 times or more in his ball game because he has that ability to take it to the house anytime he touches it.
Plumlee will throw on the run, and that one is dropped. Tough catch, but Elijah Moore couldn't hang on to it.
Nice sprint out action here. Actually throws a really good football. Puts it on the outside right as the defender is closing, and that's a football you have to catch, Elijah Moore, to help your quarterback out. Now you're in another third and long situation, similar formation. You got 5 wides. How does New Mexico State play this?
Looks like they're going to bring some pressure. Plumlee fakes the throw, keeps it, and has the first down. What a nifty move by the freshman to stay in bounds and pick up 11 yards.
Devin Richardson is the guy chasing him. You see him just not enough speed to get around the corner, and when you think he's going to run out of bounds, he's just that much sneaky fast to get around the edge and pick up a key first down. I know they're going to be a little angry that they weren't able to get him off the field there when they had him pretty much bottled in on the sideline.
Plumlee, 5 carries and 39 yards. They'll keep it on the ground here and run with the other freshman, Snoop Connor. He's coming near side, stays on his feet, gets a block. He has a chance for the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. 30 yards. He ran about 60.
The definition of want to. The definition of getting it done when you need to. What a play there. What an aggressive run by Snoop Connor to get into the end zone.
Tackling has been such an issue for New Mexico State. They already have 5 missed tackles today. And the last couple results in a touchdown for Snoop Connor, his 4th touchdown of the season and his young career.
They want to run inside zone here. He presses it, and then nothing's there, and he gets back to the backside of this play, and just watch the effort towards the end of this play to break a couple tackles. Nothing's there. And Snoop Connor doing the rest, breaking a couple tackles, and the relentless want to get into the end zone. Bingo, there goes Snoop Connor for the touchdown.
Snoop Connor averaging over 7 yards a carry. Boy, they've got some talented freshmen carrying the football when you consider John Rice Plumlee and Ely and Snoop Connor. Again, no Scotty Phillips today. Their starting senior tailback out with a sprained ankle. And that will sail into the end zone. Time to get another update from Tuscaloosa. Let's go to the studios. Dari, what's going on?
Yeah, Dave, you can see how this game is going to be. It's going to be big play after big play, tide turner after tide turner, pardon the pun. Alabama, 67 yards in total offense. So what do? You get a Jalen Waddle, game changer, punt return, 77 yards, and Alabama's right back in it at home. 10-7, they're going to the second. LSU leads.
You know, Dari, there are so many game-changing type players on that field today. I mean, it's crazy guys that can take it to the house.
There'll be a lot of dudes on that field that's going to make a lot of money in the NFL.
Come near side with it, quick toss to Lottie, who will pick up 11 yards. Opening drive for New Mexico State had some nice plays, but the drive stalled out in Ole Miss territory and had to punt it away. And now we've got an injured Rebel down on the field. It's Miles Hartsfield, the senior. It looks like he might have just got hit in that area. Watch 15.
He's on the outside. Ooh, right on that the bottom part of that knee there. And the cut block on the outside by O.J. Clark.
That's going to leave a mark.
It does. Been there before.
So first down for the Aggies. Inside handoff going with the senior Jason Huntley, who picks up 4. And now Doug Martin wants to go tempo here against the Rebels. Another inside handoff to Huntley, and he's about a yard shy of the line to gain, so it'll be 3rd and short.
And all this has been predicated on the production on 1st and 2nd down. Leave him opportunity to run it right down the gut again.
The effort from Lottie might be good enough to pick up the 1st down, and they will move the chains.
Yeah, you're right there. It's the effort because the ball was not thrown well, thrown behind him, and that enabled the defender to almost make that play, but good effort on the outside to pick up that extra yard they needed for a 1st down.
Four-man rush over the middle. Pass is caught by Lottie, picks up 5. Let's go down to the sidelines, check in with Dawn.
Guys, Josh Atkins super active on that sideline. He talked about getting some tempo going. That's what it looks like they're trying to do. He was in the middle of the offensive line group, pointing things out on the whiteboard, pulled 2 of his wideouts aside, asked about a specific play, what they saw. He's clearly in charge of this offense.
Yeah, he's looked pretty solid to start this game.
False start. Offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And that's a good call by Don. I mean, he played 10 games last year as a freshman and put up 2,500 yards in Atkins, and you can tell he has control of this offense. And you see the numbers that he's put up already. He's playing poised, he's playing confident, and he's not turning the football over.
Underneath throw, it's caught by Nicholson, and he puts it out to about the 48-yard line. And another injured Ole Miss Rebel down on the field. Tisdale is holding that left leg. Well, that's a second Rebel defender to go down on this drive. So we'll step aside. Back to Oxford right after this. That is a look at Tyrekus Tisdale, the junior out of Lexington, Tennessee, being escorted off the field. Was grabbing that left side, was kind of pointing toward that lower leg area. Try to get an update on the big fella from Dawn as soon as we can. But a third down coming up for New Mexico State. Trailing 10-0. Atkins will be dropped. Benito Jones, a loss of 3. The big fella, 4.5 sacks on the season now.
Benito Jones right in the middle of your screen, getting double team actually. You can see him continue to fight through. And no stun involved, just pure effort to get to the quarterback. And Benito Jones is one of their top players on defense, and he's looking to make a lot of money next year playing in the National Football League, but he's been a stalemate for this Ole Miss defense for a very long time.
6'1", 330 pounds out of Waynesboro, Mississippi. Coming up with a big play. Now has 9 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. That is best on this team. 7th in the SEC. A couple of hops to Elijah Moore, who was wrestled to the turf by 4 Aggie players after a 40-yard punt. But Benito Jones, talked to him yesterday, the senior boy. We talked to him. He said, what's it been like, your career here at Ole Miss? Because he has seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. And all he did was have a big old smile on his face. Said he's really enjoyed the ride, despite some of those low moments. Just a humble, soft-spoken young man.
And I love the fact when, we talked about the things that happened here at Ole Miss, and he said, you know what, through all the adversity, I still want to stay committed to this university. And I think for that reason, he will be beloved by the Ole Miss fans for a very long time.
Just a good old country boy. John Rice Plumlee. That pass is caught. How in the world was that caught? Elijah Moore will get it out over the 40 to the 42-yard line. That went right through 2 Aggies.
This is a needle in a haystack, and this is what you like out of Plumlee. He's going to make some plays, but every now and then you're going to say, oh, no, and then you're going to say, okay, really good decision, and he gets paid off by a big play there. But Plumlee keeping the play alive. Now looking to run, looking to throw.
Hand it off to Ely. He'll come near side with it, get it to the 45. Richardson with another stop. Ely kept running, didn't think he was down, but they will spot the ball at the 44-yard line. But was he down? Let's take another look.
See, at the end, he's going to be on top of a defender here. It looks like that left shin could have been down.
It doesn't matter. The whistle blew, so he is down there. That back end also looked like it might have touched the turf.
Yeah. I mean, I still like the headsy call. Ely's a true freshman, and I understand, and I'm not all the way down. I got to get up and try to finish that run.
Boy, another counter to Snoop Connor. Bottle him up this time for just 3. The last time he touched it, he went 30 and a touchdown.
Snoop is similar into the mold of Scotty Phillips, who's not playing today because of an ankle that was hurt last week. You get Ely, who's kind of the lightning, and Snoop Connor is the thunder with the big size that he has coming downhill.
So 3rd down. Call it 5. Empty set for Plumlee. Going to throw back near side. Pass has caught some nifty moves there from Braylon Sanders, and he'll have the first down at the New Mexico State 45-yard line and an 8-yard pickup.
Throwback screen to Braylon Sanders, who both quarterbacks, Matt Corral and Plumlee, say they are so comfortable throwing the football to him.
Get it to Ely, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Ely inside the 30. We'll spot him down at the 28-yard line. 17-yard pickup for the MVP of the Under Armour All-American game when he set a game record with over 100 yards rushing. 116 yards rushing in that game. Loose football, it's on the turf. New Mexico State says they have it, and they do. Boy, the final play of the half, and Snoop Connor coughs it up as the first 15 minutes of this one are in the books. Hodge comes up with the fumble recovery.
See Ferguson come right in there at the point of attack. Then you also get Richardson, who puts his helmet on the football, and I think that's what really got the football out there. Right at the end, you see the football is popped out, and New Mexico State clear recovery.
So the first turnover of the game goes to the Aggies. The first quarter in the books, 10-0 Ole Miss. Well, Snoop Connor, who fumbled the football in the final play of the first quarter, also hurt on that play. Now walking back toward the tunnel area and heading back to the Ole Miss locker room. We'll try to get an update on him. Boy, it's not been a good few minutes for Ole Miss in terms of players going down. Here's Nicholson on a toss, and he'll get it out to the 38-yard line. That'll be good enough to see if they move those chains. It might be just about a yard, half a yard shy. It will be. It'll be second down about a half a yard. Aggies going quick. And the keeper by Atkins. That'll be the first down. Let's get an update on some of those injuries that have been affecting Ole Miss today. Dawn?
Yeah, at least on the defensive side of the ball, I can help out, Dave. Good news, senior corner Miles Hartsfield spent some time in the injury tent. He's good to go. Bad news, defensive end Tyrekus Tisdale headed to the locker room. No shoe on his left foot, not putting a whole lot of weight on it. He is in that locker room getting x-rays right now. Questionable return.
And we just saw Miles Hartsfield, Dawn. Looks like he might have just gotten an old Charlie horse in that thigh. He's back on the field. They need that senior. They asked him to do a lot in the secondary. He's played a lot of football over the years for Ole Miss. Atkins probably should have been dropped for a loss of 4 or 5. Instead picks up 3.
Dave, I'll be honest. I'm kind of impressed with Atkins early in his ball game. The film we watched before this ball game, in situations like that, he usually throws it into coverage and turns the football over. A couple times a day, he's had an opportunity to throw it down the field, and he's tucked it and got some positive yardage to help his offense.
And they've lost the football 22 times this year. 14 of those are interceptions. Boy, it looked like a clear hole in the middle of that line of scrimmage, but I don't see a flag on that, but somebody was looked like Tony Bello. Watch this. Watch 65 in the white jersey.
Yeah, coming right through the right guard there. He pulled it with that left.
That looks like a drill you do in the summer, right?
He's checking his back pocket for some change, Dave. That's all that is. It's our man Tony Bello. We've seen Tony on film a little bit have a couple issues in pass protection.
Hey, he's not holding unless they call it, right?
True.
Over the middle. This one could have been picked off. Atkins threw it into traffic looking for Jared Wyatt. Jalen Julius was back there and had a chance for the pick.
Yeah, Jalen reads the eyes of Atkins here. Watch, he never takes his eyes off this seam, and he drove on the football. Lucky enough for Atkins, he was able to get his hand on that football and deflect it away on the outside with Jared Wyatt.
Theisler will punt that away, and it'll bounce out of bounds around the 20-yard line. 12:46 to go, second quarter. Ole Miss up 10. For the winner of this game, their chance to get to the college football playoff, 83% for LSU, 84% for Alabama. I mean, very similar numbers, and by no means is the loser out of this based on those percentages. Penn State losing today certainly helps some of those cases. Here's John Rice Plumlee, breaks a tackle. This guy's got some serious speed. He'll cut it back to the 30. It's a foot race to the goal line. He has some help. Down to the 5-yard line. A huge run for John Rice Plumlee of 75 yards.
And this is where it can hurt you in the zone read game. As soon as you think you've had him bottled up a couple series, hasn't made the real big plays, but then him in the second and third level is just not fair. You see the speed of it there. But what he did at the line of scrimmage to make 2 or 3 guys miss and then shows the speed to get all the way down here for a potential touchdown.
114 yards rushing for Plumlee on 6 carries. It's a 19-yard average. He'll hand it off to Ely with a big collision at the goal line, and he will get his nose into the end zone. Ran right into Austin Perkins, and he won that battle.
Austin Perkins, oh my goodness. Look at Ely just run through the arm, the legs, everything of Perkins. Oh, what a physical run there for Mr. Ely, who only stands 180 pounds. Looked like he was more like 225 on that run.
Reminiscent of old Herschel Walker.
Woo. Tennessee.
Running over Bill Bates at the goal line. And the late, great Larry Munson kept saying he's just a freshman. Well, we could say the same thing about Ely. He's just a freshman. So the combination of Plumlee and Ely doing the damage for the Rebels.
And this is where their offensive production has come from. These 2 young freshmen here. And you see the elusiveness of Plumlee in an open space. And he is just sneaky fast. And he has the ability to break tackles in open field. And then once he gets out in this area, you can forget about it. He has the speed to burn like a receiver, but is a quarterback that is ultra talented. And then you talk about the physicality of the 180 pounds of Ely running through Perkins to get into the end zone. These freshmen are going to be fun to watch for a number of years here in Oxford.
2 guys that, when they have the time, go over to the baseball stadium and soft toss, get their swings in. They're going to be playing baseball for the Rebels when the calendar flips. Huntley on this return. He is a dynamic return man, and Ole Miss bottles him up around the 18.
And those 2 guys will be fun to watch in both sports here at Ole Miss.
Aggies get it back as they trail 17-0. Gain of 3 as that one goes to Jason Huntley.
Game plan so far on first down has been to go horizontal, to stretch the width of this Ole Miss defense, and then they want to go inside and try to gash you. And here comes short, quick perimeter throws here to get the football out of hands of Josh Atkins.
Huntley, he's out to the 25. Don't forget, coming up 7:30 Eastern tonight, good old-fashioned SEC rivalry game. Tennessee taking on the Cats in Lexington. That's coming up on our SEC Saturday night game.
Tennessee, similar to Ole Miss, trying to get into the postseason, have to win out.
Pass is caught, 2 receivers in the same spot with a pickup of 8 as O.J. Clark makes the catch in front of Miles Hartsfield. Yeah, that Tennessee team, boy, the way the season started, if they get to a bowl game, that's some kind of job over there.
By Pruitt, you no doubt about it. I mean, you think about how many times they've had quarterback issues and what happened with Jared Garantano in the Alabama game, but they found a way to right the ship the past few weeks and get some big wins.
Atkins will keep it, and he'll take it over the 40 to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up 8. Atkins, the redshirt sophomore, came in, and you got to factor in all his sacks, but 73 carries, 22 yards on the year. Does have 4 rushing touchdowns, but he has been sacked a bunch. They've allowed the opponents to get to the quarterback 24 times this year. Good strong run to the 45 by Christian Gibson. That'll be a first down for the Aggies. New Mexico State getting paid about $1.5 million by Ole Miss, but that's nothing compared to what they got paid to play Alabama earlier this year. They got paid $1.9 million to visit Tuscaloosa.
So you're saying the athletic department is doing pretty well?
They're going to make close to $4 million here, and there's one of those sacks we're talking about. That's number 25 allowed, actually 26 allowed by New Mexico State. A loss of 7 as Willie Hibbler gets in there.
And Hibbler is coming right from the middle of your screen here, going to come right through on like a delayed blitz. And he comes down here. Nobody blocks him, just what we call an add-on blitz from that linebacker spot. And just does a good job of wrapping Atkins up and not giving him time to throw the football. And he had a bunch of time early in this ball game, not so much there.
First sack of the year for Hibbler. Atkins on the run, high throw, and that one's incomplete. Was trying to hit Tony Nicholson with it. So now it'll be 3rd down and 17.
This situation here, you've already kind of changed field position a little bit. You're going to force Ole Miss. If you have to punt the football, you want it to be backed up. So you don't want to do anything that hurts your chances of the punt. Draw, screen, something in that world.
4-man rush. Atkins steps up in the pocket. Flags come out all over the place. A helmet is lost. O.J. Clark makes the catch. Max Wilhite, their center, picks up his helmet. Wonder if this will be a hands to the face situation. If that's the case, he'll be able to stay on the field.
Personal foul, defense, number 95.
That's it.
Hands to the face. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Number 71 can remain in the game. His helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Thank you, Hubert.
Benito Jones is the culprit of the hands to the face on the double team. Just got to get those hands down a little bit. He's trying to fight off 2 guys, but you can't go through the head and neck area of a offensive lineman there. Max Wilhite, guy who gets to stay in the ball game.
Benito's the one that takes a breather. That'll move it all the way inside the 35-yard line. Quick snap, quick throw.
And how big of a penalty was that? It was 3rd and 17.
Yeah.
And you have that. Now you're able to stay on the field, and now you're in range now for, if you don't go anywhere from here, you got an opportunity at a field goal. But I know New Mexico State's looking to get into the end zone.
Jalen Jacquez Jones, excuse me, making that tackle. That's now 5 of those for Jones today. Sophomore out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah, he took the starting spot for Momo Sinogo when he was hurt early in the year. So he's been starting since week 3.
So another 3rd down, 3rd and 5.
Yeah, looks like pressure. Look at so many guys up here.
Atkins just lofts it up in the air, and there are no flags. Trying to hit Jason Huntley, but Jalen Julius back there stride for stride with Huntley.
Once again, this is a football that has to be thrown down the field. Look how so much room he has outside. He leaves the football short and underthrown. Never gives Huntley an opportunity at the football. He has to throw this football out there and give him an opportunity to try to make a catch on this football.
Doug Martin decides to leave his offense out on the field from the 30-yard line. It's a 4th down and 5 on the year. This offense is 8 of 16 on 4th downs. Underneath throw, pass is caught. Robert Downs, I couldn't tell if his knee hit the ground. They're going to say that he was able to pick up the first down, and New Mexico State wanting to go really quickly here. They haven't got the change set, and They get the snap off. Atkins will keep it, slide down around the 19.
Smart and impressive play here on New Mexico State. Just if there was any thought that his knee was down, they crushed that and got out on the ball and snapped the football.
And Atkins is dropped back at the 24. A loss of 4.
Rushing only 3 there, able to get home against Atkins. That's not what you want if you're New Mexico State with 5 offensive linemen blocking up front and 3 guys are able to get to your quarterback. Now you got a 3rd and long situation. Your defensive line now knows you have to throw the football. Their ears are going to be pinned back and coming after Atkins.
Ole Miss wants a timeout. We'll take it with them.
Well, that's what you want out of 2 big-time QBs in a big-time game.
Nice gainer as Christian Gibson takes it inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. He'll pick up 8.
Really good call there on 3rd down. The screen play, knowing they want to get upfield and try to rush the passer. I actually like the call here. Get some points on the board. You worked hard to get down here. Get some points on the board. Give your team something to be excited or happy about.
Doug Martin decides to send out his field goal kicker, Dylan Brown. Dylan on the year, 6 out of 9. Hit a long against San Diego State of 46 yards. This will be 34 from the near hash. The left footer will split the uprights. So New Mexico State is on the board. They'll trail by 14, getting late here in the first half. Director here at Ole Miss for taking us out and experiencing all that the square has to offer.
So glad you ate last night, Dave.
I know. I actually ate some food. That's how important
you
it was.
ate and Don did not eat. So I mean, it's kind of balances out.
That is not true. Do you know what I had? I had the best thing that you can get at City Grocery, and that's the shrimp and grits. At least that's what head coach Matt Luke told us. Said you always get the shrimp and grits when you're there. By the way, a little side note, Coach Luke met his wife at City Grocery back in the day. So
nice.
It's a special place.
I wonder if she ate her food. I mean, because Don still, I mean, she had like
Hey,
a little,
they give you
she had
big
like a little
portions.
small portion of it right there.
There's something about the Grove, I think my first a date with my wife was here at the square in Oxford, Mississippi. How about that?
All right, Dave, look at that.
Something about the Grove.
Something about the Grove brings out the best in all the fellas, huh?
Something.
Our producer Billy Palladino ate all his food. I mean, it was,
And mine
and
and
the
yours
appetizers.
and
everything.
Here's a little reverse. Coming to Dennis Jackson. The freshman gets the first down around the 48. 9-yard pickup. Little tap pass coming to Jerry and Ely. He loses the football, but Ole Miss is right on the spot to recover it is Snoop Connor.
Yeah, good to see him back too.
Back on the field, and he coughed it up earlier, maybe just saved his team a turnover there. So call him even for the day.
Very true, but you love the effort because he was blocking for Ely and comes off his block and tries to continue to go down the field and kind of runs into the fumble recovery.
Second down. Going up top, trying to find Jackson, and a flag comes out around the 12.
Lomax is considered their best corner on the outside. Wanted to see what the replay looks like.
Defense, number 22, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Shamad Lomax back there in coverage.
I'm not really sure what they saw there, Dave. I mean, I thought that was pretty good coverage on the back end for Lomax.
Snoop Connor with a little stutter step, and then will fall forward to the 30-yard line and pick up 5. All told, Ole Miss already with 282 yards of offense today. New Mexico State with a 121 total on their ledger.
See the look to the sideline there. You got Coach Rich Rod, offensive coordinator, who gives these guys hints at the line of scrimmage to get them into good plays that need to.
Plumlee going right side. Boy, he is met right there. And he is dropped by Hodge. Rashi Hodge with that stop, no gain on the play. Don't forget Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. College football playoff top 25 will be unveiled. Week number 2, presented by Chick-fil-A.
Safe to say there's going to be a little shakeup.
Well, we know Penn State's already moving.
That's what I'm saying.
LSU, Alabama, one of those teams will be on the move.
What you love about November, man, it's time to go time now.
Plumlee will dump it off underneath, hits Ely. He'll only get a couple, so it'll be 4th down and maybe 2. They got to get it inside the 25, kind of in that no man's land. Let's see what Coach Luke wants to do. He's keeping the offense on the field.
Yeah, the way they ran the football in between the tackles, I expect to see this football to be downhill and run behind that big offensive line that they have.
He's just going to let the clock wind down and call a timeout. 2:22, 2:21 on the clock here in the first half. And on 4th and 2, Matt Luke takes a timeout. We'll take it with him. Back in a moment. That is correct, Dari, and that's kind of what Matt Luke was talking to us about yesterday, is that they're going to ride with Plumlee here a little bit. Matt Corral, they had a plan for him, and we should see him a little bit, but this was going to be Plumlee's show.
Yeah, and I think it's the right decision. Corral is a very capable quarterback, but Plumlee gives you something different. And he has the ability, like we've seen today, to break a big, long run. He can throw it, he can run it. He is going to be even better as the day goes on. And watch some of the things he's done today. And you wouldn't expect him, a guy of his stature, to run and with this type of physicality sometimes on the outside. You see him breaking tons of tackles. And then sometimes he's still looking to throw the football down the field when he gets outside the pocket. And we've seen him throw the football efficiently and accurately when he has to throw the football down the field vertically. And that's only going to be positive going forward for Rich Rod and his Ole Miss offense.
Today, Plumlee has put together 117 yards on the ground. He's averaging 14.5 yards a carry. It is 4th down and 2. Rebels going to go for it, and they may have just gotten the Aggies to jump, and it may be a free 5. John Graves, 47, bit on the snap count, and that'll be a 1st down for the Rebels.
Defense, offside, 5-yard penalty, result of the play, 1st down.
He's literally right over the center. You see go over, and what a heads-up call there to snap the football. And just going to get that free 5 yards, but that's just what you can't have there. If you're John Graves, jumping off sides on 4th and 2.
Hand off to Ely, breaks another tackle. He's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Ole Miss. 13-yard pickup. That is 10 missed tackles by the Aggies today. And most of those have come against Ely.
Yeah, and the physicality that you would expect coming from Ely, who I've mentioned a couple times, 180 pounds, runs a lot stronger than that. Get the big guys in the middle, a lot of credit. Eli Johnson, Royce Newman on the inside of that Ole Miss offensive line have created space to run.
Here's Ely, bounces it to the outside, and he's inside the 5, down to the 3.
watch the movement of the line of scrimmage here. Everything is going vertical, getting upfield, and they're doing a really good job getting to that second level. And the first person that contacts Ely is the linebacker.
Second down and goal. 2 tight ends set again for the Rebels. Hand it off to Ely. This time he stood up and he'll be pushed backwards. Forward progress will get him a positive yard. Ferguson and Hodge, the 2 that met number 9 in the hole.
Now, this is a situation usually throughout every ball game you see Plumlee on the edge some way, somehow when they get near this goal line or red zone. He's the guy that they love to get on the corner on the edge to get him a run pass option.
Third down and goal. Plumlee keeps it, and Plumlee scores from 2 yards out. The run game has been phenomenal today for Ole Miss. 222 yards on the ground. They average 225 a game, which is best in the league.
We talked about it. He is the reason why this offense is tough to stop, because you have to account for the quarterback. Not many teams have a quarterback like John Rice Plumlee, who is on the edge and so dangerous with the ball in his hand.
Point after is up and good. Ole Miss now out in front 24-3.
In the zone read ball game, you always have tendencies and keys. Here are the guys he's reading on the outside. These guys crash down inside. He will pull it and go on the outside. You see both these guys are inside, so they got good numbers. And now you pull it, you got a blocker on the edge blocking, and he goes untouched into the end zone for a walk-in touchdown.
24-3 our score here, getting late in the second quarter. And while we have a break in the action, let's throw it to Laura Rutledge and our friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Got to get me some badonkadonks.
Oh, man.
All right, Plumlee being attended to right now. Doesn't look like anything serious, but Ole Miss top 20 in the country in rushing yards per game, and already up to 222 today.
Dave, what exactly is a badonkadonk?
It's a lure. It's a fishing lure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was confused there for a second. You bought many badonkadonks in your day?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. I'm not. I grew up with a lot of pavement around me. Not a lot of fishing ponds in my neighborhood. New Mexico State has run 35 plays, but only 121 yards. 16 on the ground, 19 through the air. O.J. Clark with the reception. Prince on the stop.
Really good first half for Ole Miss, efficient on both sides of the ball, not allowing many big plays from the defensive side where they did that the past couple of weeks. Guys have been able to get over the top of this defense, but they haven't really given up any big plays today, which is what I know they're going to be excited and happy about for the first half.
And that'll be the final play of the first half. Ole Miss with some big plays, 307 yards of offense. Lead at 24-3. Now coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Pride of the South on SEC Network Plus as they're getting all their equipment ready to go for their performance. You can start streaming that right now on the ESPN app. But our score at the half, Ole Miss leading it by 21 over New Mexico State. Rebels trying to snap a 3-game losing skid. Let's go down to Dawn.
Yeah, here with head coach Matt Luke. Coach John Rice Plumlee, 119 yards on the ground and a touchdown. What stood out to you about his performance that half?
No, good. He took advantage of the opportunities. He did a good job managing the game. You know, converted a big 4th down through the air, which was big. But had the 1 turnover down there. But it's been pretty clean first half.
No Scotty Phillips. What do you think you got out of your 2 true freshmen in the run game?
You had the one mistake by Snoop on the fumble, but I thought they've been running hard. It's good to see Jarian running hard in between the tackles. Snoop broke a big play in the first half. So, I mean, they're good players. I thought they've done a good job.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Just mentioned 3 freshmen carrying the football. They have done a nice job today here at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. It's halftime. Ole Miss out in front. Time to get it to the studio. Dari, the boys, it's all yours. New Mexico State will get the football first. And they drop it around the 18. Gibson will fall on it, however. And for more on this Ole Miss team, let's go down to Dawn.
Well, Dave, this Ole Miss defense gave up just 129 yards in that first half. But, of course, according to the head coach, there is always room for improvement. When I talked to head coach Matt Luke, he pointed out that hands to the face penalty that gave New Mexico State a big first down in the first half, how disappointed he was in that. Also pointed out that, yeah, they've gotten some pressure on their quarterback. He wants them to get more pressure on that quarterback this half. And the challenge he gave to his defense, get off the field on third down.
New Mexico State on third downs. They were 3 out of 8 in that first half. They get it to Jason Huntley. Pick up 3.
And if New Mexico State is going to get anything done in this second half, that guy, number 1, Huntley, has to touch the ball more than he did in the first half. And you see the immediate, they come out and try to get him the football in space. They have to do that even more in this second half.
New Mexico State ran 37 plays in that first half. Huntley touched it 7 times. Come near side. Lottie, big hit there around the 25. That'll be a pickup of 5. So it'll be third down in about 3.5.
2 good productive plays there. Now you're in the third down position where they've used Atkins in the run game some on the zone read to pull it and pick up a first down. Here's an opportunity to do that as well, but if I'm them, I got to keep my eyes on number 1, Huntley, who's in the backfield right now.
Huntley will split out to the wide side. Good tackle. Boy, Huntley looked like he might have been a little confused. He split out wide and then was looking at the bench when the play was snapped. O.J. Clark ends up getting the catch. Good enough for the first down.
Yeah, it looked like he was running out to ask the ref if he was on the line of scrimmage or off, and they snapped the football, and his guy ends up making the tackle, but it was enough for the first down.
Huntley still split out, empty set, 4-man rush by Ole Miss over the middle, and that one is incomplete. Looking for O.J. Clark again in the first half. Atkins went 16 out of 20, 99 yards. Had a couple of deep balls get away from him, but that underneath stuff, he was pretty effective.
He was, and that's what I think is most important is he's took care of the football. He's thrown an interception in every ball game this season in the first half. He took care of the football, took what they gave him, and didn't force the issue.
And some movement on that offensive line. That'll back him up 5.
Start. Offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Tony Bello. The 5th-year senior out of Denver.
Tony's had a rough go of it in this ball game. Had a holding penalty we thought should have been called. Didn't get called, so it wasn't there. But
that was a good play, right? No flag. Here's Huntley with it, trying to get the corner, and he'll be knocked out of bounds near the 35. Jalen Julius runs him out of bounds. Tell you what, Huntley's going to get a shot at the next level. He's an outstanding return man. Has 5 returns total for touchdowns. Can do a lot out of the backfield. Matter of fact, he's caught it now over 30 times this year. And he is certainly their leading rusher, almost 600 yards on the ground, averaging over 6 yards a carry. So he's one of those guys that NFL teams love to have, right? Utility type of guy. Atkins will keep it. Gain of 3.
Something we didn't see much of in the first half was Ole Miss playing a little bit more man coverage on that drive and forcing Atkins to hold on to the football more than he wanted to. You see there, nowhere to go with the football because of the good coverage on the back end. And good job of Ole Miss getting off the field here to start the second half.
Elijah Moore back to return the punt. Good high kick. So Ole Miss will have it after the 39-yard punt. There is a couple of flags that come out. Like some extracurricular activities going on behind the play. Hubert Owens standing right there.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul, number 29 on the kicking team and number 9 on the receiving team. Those fouls offset. That's both of their first unsportsmanlike.
But Ole Miss will have the football when we come back. Early third quarter football. Tell you what, there's a lot of competitors specifically here in the SEC. But it's hard to beat this experience. Plumlee almost lost it, caught it. Picks up a couple of yards. Here it was before the game today. Now, I tell you what, when LSU rolls into town next week, this will be a different scene.
Won't be able to walk anywhere, huh?
It will be wall to wall, shoulder to shoulder, tent to tent, hottie toddy to hottie toddy.
Dave, I hear they have chandeliers inside the tent.
You know, unfortunately, we're so busy today we didn't have a chance to get out there. But next time we come here, Shock, I'm taking you out there, buddy.
Please do. I mean, chandeliers in a tent, I've never heard of such a thing.
Dawn should have taken. She was out there. Dawn, why don't you bring your DJ with you?
You guys know that I got to take a break from work and go enjoy some of the food and everything that's going on out in the Grove. Hey, by the way, turn the corner, and who did I run into? How about the head Ole Miss basketball coach, Kermit Davis, his beautiful wife, his wonderful daughter. They were wandering around and enjoying the Grove, just absolutely loving it here in Oxford. Of course, they got a season opening win last night. Things are good for Kermit Davis.
Did a great job a year ago, and certainly big expectations again here in Oxford for the Hoopsters.
Dave, the only thing that I heard from Dawn right there was we weren't cool enough to hang with her.
Yeah, basically.
That's kind of all I heard.
Yeah.
No, you guys actually work hard. I just took a little break. That's what I was saying. You guys are the hard
No, it
workers
sounded
of
like
this group.
I want to go out there and I want to socialize without you. That's fine.
It's cool, Dawn. We still love you. It's cool.
I don't blame you. Snoop Connor, saw him leave the game earlier after a fumble in the first half.
Or there could have been no bingo out there, so you probably didn't want to go out there, huh, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to have a talk with Darian Ely, who
You're going to see
asked
him.
me if I was a bingo player.
You're going to see him a little bit more, too, in baseball season.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I got 3.5 hours during a baseball game to talk about you, so be very careful what you say about me right now. Slant in there for a first down, caught by Jonathan Mingo. Gain of 13. One of the better throws we'll see from Plumlee.
Yeah, watch him transfer the weight here. Watch him get back on that right side and deliver the football with a strike into the chest of Mingo. That's the throwing ability that Plumlee has. A lot of people haven't been really excited about him throwing the football because it's been overshadowed by his running ability, but this guy can throw the football given the opportunity when his feet are right.
Plumlee throws, acrobatic throw at that. And he'll hit Elijah Moore, and he'll have a first down after a 10-yard pickup.
And that's a tough throw. Going to your right, having to get your hips open and throw it to a guy that's lateral. He's starting to show some things in the pass game that's going to bode well for him down the line.
Ely stuff there. I've been watching Plumlee closer this game than I have in the games I've seen on tape. And after talking to Rich Rodriguez about his quarterback, he says a lot of the throws in his offense are based off time. 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drops. Explain to me what he was talking about.
With every route, with every drop, there is a certain timing.
Woo, speaking of timing, Ely just got nailed as that one will go down as an incomplete pass. Hodge just blew up Ely.
Yeah, great timing from him. But usually when this happens, you miss a block on the outside, and this is not Ely's fault. His receiver on the outside as well, who actually picks up the football. And Hodge, who makes the hit on him, has to do a better job of blocking on the perimeter for his back.
I'll finish that thought on the timing of quarterback play. Quick drop, ball is batted in the air, and it'll be fourth down coming up. But what does he mean by that timing?
So when you're throwing certain routes on the outside, your feet have to match up with what's going on the outside with the receiver. So if you're throwing a comeback route that's 12 back to 10, and your feet have to go 1, 2, 3 hitch, and the ball has to come out. Sometimes the timing is off, where he takes an extra step, whether it's sprint out or whether it's in the timing of the route, then that makes him late or that makes him early at times. And sometimes they have battled with him and his footwork being on time throwing certain routes.
So a 48-yard attempt on the way from Luke Logan. Good clean snap, and the kick is on the way, and it is no good. He misses that one wide left. So the Aggies get a stop, and they'll have the football when we come back.
I think G-Mac shows up to thinking out loud this week.
He might be wearing something that has LSU colors on it, unless Alabama can turn things around. Incomplete pass on the outside. New Mexico State 0-8 on the year. It has been a tough go for Doug Martin and company this year. That started with games at Washington State. They lose 58-7. Then they go to Alabama and lose 68-10. They will end up playing 7 road games this year, make over $4 million to fund this football and athletic department. Pass is caught by Gibson. But they're an independent school. I mean, they were bounced out of the Sun Belt. Just became a logistical nightmare for a lot of teams in the Sun Belt. And so they're still trying to find a home football-wise. And Doug Martin just doing what he can to keeping things afloat.
We had a chance to talk to him before the ball game and, just ask him how he was doing, his team was doing, and he said, yeah, of course, it's been frustrating, but the kids have continued to fight and play with good effort and practice really good throughout the week.
So on 3rd down and 8, they'll lose 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 12 coming up. Or 4th down and 12, and here comes the punt team. Well, Matt Luke wanted his team to play well on 3rd downs here in the second half. Got to stop there and forcing the punt.
Yeah, they were pretty good in the first half. 3 of 8 for New Mexico State converting. And the trend continues here for Ole Miss defensively, getting this New Mexico State offense off the field.
Deisler will punt it away. Elijah Moore back deep. Short end-over-end kick. And Ole Miss will have it there. On this Veterans Day weekend, one of the most well-known veterans in the state of Mississippi is former Rebel Charlie Connerly.
Charlie Connerly was a small-town boy made good from a dot on the Mississippi map called Clarksdale. He led the Ole Miss Rebels to the school's first SEC championship. Charlie played quarterback for the New York Giants. He did ads as one of the original Marlboro men. Before playing college ball, he fought as a United States Marine on the island of Guam. He shared space in the famous Manhattan Saloon alongside his fellow Big Apple heroes like DiMaggio and Mantle. He and his wife Perry Ann liked that life, but they both missed Clarksdale. New York City was a dream, but Mississippi was home.
Charlie Connerly played football here at Ole Miss back in 1942, but left to serve with the U.S. Marine Corps during World War II. Fought in the Battle of Guam. Plumlee's throw is caught. But Charlie Connerly's a guy that should be in the NFL Hall of Fame. I had a chance to catch up with longtime sports information director, retired now, Langston Rogers earlier, when he was still mad that Charlie Connerly's not in the Hall of Fame. In the NFL, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. Played his entire career with the Giants as a quarterback, 2-time Pro Bowl selection, NFL's most valuable player in 1959.
Not many as accomplished as Mr. Connerly there.
No.
You can see why he's beloved around here, and he's got his name eternally up in the grandstands of this beautiful stadium.
As we continue to honor those that served and are serving on this Veterans Day weekend. There goes Snoop. Connor breaks a tackle inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Picks up 22 more yards.
It's bad tackling here for New Mexico State. They have a guy in the hole, and he just does not make the tackle. Austin Perkins on the outside, just not make the tackle against Snoop Connor. He does the rest and make guys miss.
Plumlee keeps it, turns the corner, trying to split some defenders, and gets to the end zone. An 18-yard touchdown run for John Rice Plumlee, his second of the game. Boy, he's got some deceptive speed, doesn't he?
He's got a little juice with him. Woo. He definitely has.
I think he catches some of these defenders off guard with his speed.
It looks sneaky, too, because it looks like he's just gliding and he ends up just running away from you.
Point after is up and good. 31 on the board now for the Rebels as they lead it by 28. John Rice Plumlee going for 139 on 11 carries.
Zone read action again. Watching this defensive guy here as he crashes down, he is going to pull the football every single time. You get that action, you get the edge, you get the corner, and then the speed of Plumlee again gets you to the end zone. Puts Ole Miss up 31-3.
Matt Corral, John Rice Plumlee behind the bench, throwing to each other, wondering if we'll see Matt Corral sometime soon. So far, it's been all Plumlee today. And he is not disappointed. Plumlee is 139 yards on the ground. He's 11 of 17, 124 through the air. And the offense has put together a 414-yard performance to this point. These two guys just playing pitch and catch, and Matt Corral is, according to Matt Luke, has just been as supportive of John Rice Plumlee as anybody on the team. These two guys have been great. Rich Rod telling us how fortunate he is to have two guys that in this type of situation, it can get off the tracks in a hurry, but these two guys have been great about the situation that has been presented to them. And as Coach Rodriguez said, he needs, and what he has learned in this is he has to be very in tune with what his quarterbacks are feeling in practices, and he has to communicate better. Every little detail he needs to let these guys in on so they know what's going on and what the situation is.
And that's the number one thing that's most important is the communication part, because if you have two guys in this situation that wonder where they stand in this team, where they stand on this offense, that's going to be a bad thing for each guy that's involved in this ball game. So they do a really good job of, in practice, in meetings, communicating what each guy's role is, and I think both guys have benefited from it really well.
First time we've seen Jason Huntley get loose for a little bit. He'll have the first down after a 21-yard pickup. And Coach Rich Rod telling us that, in practice, he'll tell these guys why you're going to run this series of plays, exactly what makes it work for John Rice Plumlee versus Matt Corral and vice versa. And, it's got to be a tough situation this day and age, too, of everybody wanting to get into that so-called transfer portal if things aren't going well for you.
And I had a chance on Thursday to talk to both guys, Corral as well as Plumlee, and I kind of asked them what's the game plan for both you guys, and they both mentioned, hey, on Coach Rich Rod's play sheet there are JR plays and there are Matt Corral plays that work for both guys, and they both have a say-so on what they like, and so they have a plan for both these guys when they get in the ball game, and they understand where they lie inside this offense.
Well, Atkins will scoot for the first down. John Haynes making the tackle, the safety. And the Aggies going quick again. Hand it off right side, goes to Gibson, and Gibson will fall forward for about 4.
Mexico State starting to get something going here, and it's all predicated on them being able to run the football. We talked about how they wanted to come in this game and throw the football 40-plus times, but it's been the run game that's helped them really move the football and be productive, especially on early downs. When they haven't run the football and tried to throw it vertically, that's when they struggle to move the football.
High throw, and that one could have been picked off. Looking for Gibson. Don't forget, 7:30 tonight, SEC Saturday night features Tennessee at Kentucky. It'll be cold in the bluegrass for this old-fashioned SEC showdown. Tennessee has just completely owned the Cats over the years, but Kentucky trying to stay alive and keep the momentum up. And what a great season last year for the Cats. Hard to duplicate what Coach Stoops brought to Kentucky and Lexington last year.
They also had the fire of a Benny Snell back there who they leaned on a lot throughout that year. Losing Terry Wilson was a big loss for him this season as well.
Jalen Julius down on the turf right in front of Coach Luke. See where Deion Sanders' name has been brought up as a potential candidate for.
As a Florida State guy, how do you feel about that, Dave?
You love
prime time?
I love him. He's great. But
I saw that coming.
He has been an awesome ambassador for the university and really helped put the football team on the map. And that'll be down to round the 2. But Deion can talk about football all he wants on the NFL Network or anywhere else.
Not so sure about taking the coaching.
Yeah, I don't know about the headset on the field though. Yeah, not a good day for Vanderbilt down in the swamp.
They started pretty good.
They were hanging around
for a while.
Yeah, they were hanging around.
Got away from them.
31-3 our score, and Snoop Connor on that carry as John Rice Plumlee back in at quarterback. He has gone the distance today. We've been talking about him and Matt Corral, and you know it's pretty clear that I don't know that this is necessarily a 2-quarterback system as it has been in the past. This looks like it's leaning toward Plumlee, and they're trying to get him some work for the 2 final regular season games coming up against LSU and Mississippi State. As Plumlee showing you his ability to run with the football. A stiff arm there. Going to get a block and pick up some more yards out over the 45 to the 46. 36 more yards.
DeMarcus Gregory on the outside gets a really good block, but then you see him right there get a block right there on the edge, and then now it just turns into backyard ball. He's just an athlete out there making guys miss and just having fun while doing it. You can see he has really good vision for a quarterback that gets outside in space, and a lot of teams watching this are not going to be happy to see the ability he has with the football in his hands running.
Snoop Connor on that carry. He'll have the first down, but how about John Rice Plumlee? He needs 1 more yard rushing to tie the school record for rushing by a quarterback in a game. Norris Weiss back in 1972 at 178 yards against Mississippi State. Norris Weiss went on to play in the NFL as a backup with the Denver Broncos. Actually got to play in the Super Bowl. I think it was Super Bowl 12. But 1 more yard, actually 2 more, will give Plumlee the new Ole Miss quarterback rushing record as Jaden Jackson is slow to get up. Looks like the old cramp in play. Here's what Rich Rod said about quarterback rotation. Managing the game with one guy or the other is not really as hard as you think because of the way they practice. You've got to have guys that are unselfish and understand their role, which Matt and John Rice do. And he's fortunate that those 2 guys get that, because a lot of times one of the 2, they don't get it. And now Matt Corral will come in.
I thought Rice was a little ginger after that last run. You can see he was kind of ginger walking back to the huddle, and he goes into the 10 on the sideline. But I thought I saw him limping just a little bit after that long run, opening it up a little bit. Hopefully he didn't do anything to hurt anything.
So Corral gets in the game, and he'll hand it off to Snoop Connor. And Snoop will have 9.5, maybe 10 yards. See if they move the chains. And we'll move the chains. It'll be a first down, but they are wrapping up that right ankle. telling somebody in the stands he's just fine. I'll be all right. He'll be all right when somebody tells him he needs another 2 yards to set the quarterback rushing record in a game.
Don is right there. She could just whisper to him.
He grabs his helmet, Plumlee does, and heads to that sideline. A gain of 3 there. So we'll see if that's the final play of the quarter here as Ole Miss watching that clock tick under 5 seconds. The Rebels up 31-3. Through 45 minutes of football, they are closing in on 500 yards of offense. John Rice Plumlee has rushed for 177, thrown for 124. He's helped his team to his 28-point advantage. Score by a quarter shows you Ole Miss leading 31-3 on what has turned out to be a cold night here in the Magnolia State as the sun has set. And there is John Rice Plumlee, and it looks like Matt Corral may go the distance. Somebody's going there to tell Coach Luke he only needs 2 yards to set the single-game quarterback rushing record. Corral will pump fake. He'll run for it. Get it close to the 20.
Corral trying to come in and throw a touchdown. They wanted to go double move at the bottom of the screen with Mingo on the outside, and he was getting jammed up on the outside, and Corral did a really good job of just taking what the defense gave him and not trying to force the ball to Mingo.
All kinds of movement on a 3rd down.
Number 1, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And you get a situation here where you got a different snap count, different cadence, and you see the centers talking to Corral, and he wants the ball now. Just a little communication issue there.
Oh, what a catch. Well done by the tight end, Jason Pellerin. It'll be 1st and goal, Rebels.
Well, I think Jason may find his way on You Got Mossed here. Look at him go on top of the defensive back and snag this football. Pellerin with a nice grab there. May find his way on the You Got Mossed section there.
6'4", 235, getting it done, setting up the Rebels. Good tough run from Snoop Connor, and he'll get in the end zone. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game.
Inside zone, this is something they have really specialized in here. Just get contact right on the 1-yard line. But we've talked about the physicality of Snoop Connor running downhill is unmatched, and he runs through Javon Ferguson there, who he met right at the 1-yard line.
Luke Logan, point after. 38-3. Matt Corral leading the team to the end zone. A lot of football left in a 2-score game. Speaking of 2, Matt Corral on the right led the Rebels to their touchdown a moment ago. Taking over for Plumlee, who had to leave the game, get his ankle taped up for a minute. And Snoop Connor with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. Short kick, fair catch called for at the 20 by Gibson. Ole Miss leading by 35 here as we look at the college football playoff rankings. Ohio State number 1, LSU, Alabama, Penn State loses today. Clemson plays later tonight against a struggling NC State team. So obviously some change is going to happen regardless of what happens at LSU, Alabama. Penn State's already causing a shakeup. What do you think about Ohio State being number 1?
I thought the committee looked at it as overall this is a team that's been the most consistent. I know the wins don't look like the most impressive as far as who they played, but I've never heard the committee name particular players, and in that you heard them talk about Chase Young. I just felt as though they looked at Ohio State as probably the most complete team that they've seen so far.
Well, they just destroyed Maryland today without Chase Young, their unbelievable defensive end. Second down and 10. They get it to Huntley. He's hit around the 30. That's a pickup of 6.
And that's kind of what they did in the first half. They were more horizontal throwing the football, which stretched that Ole Miss defense out, so they were able to have some success when they needed to run the football up the middle. They spread that defense out. But here's a situation here where it's a manageable down. Should be able to convert.
Flag comes down, and that'll be incomplete.
Illegal motion, number 1 on the offense. Moving forward at the snap. That penalty is refused. 4th down.
So it'll be 4th and 4, and here comes the Aggie punt team.
That's just not getting set. You talked about it earlier in the ball game when they ran that same kind of motion out there and they snapped the football. He wasn't ready to go. He has to do a better job of getting set, and you won't get that penalty.
End over end kick. That'll be scooped up by Elijah Moore, and Elijah dancing around out close to the 40-yard line. Last time Ole Miss had the football, this is what it looked like with Matt Corral.
Really nice throw and catch there, and the physicality to get downhill. And you see these two guys really just genuinely happy for each other for their success, and that's why this offense has been the way it has, because of the relationship they have with each other.
For more on that, let's go down to Dawn.
Yeah, first guy to greet Matt Corral after that touchdown drive. You got it. It was Plumlee. I've been watching these two all game long because head coach Matt Luke raved about how Matt Corral has handled everything and their relationship. I'm so impressed. They have been by each other this entire time on the sideline, clearly supportive of each other. Plumlee was all in on Matt Corral's drive. Right now, he's all in, watching, signaling him from the sideline. Just the support that these guys have for each other is really impressive. You got to remember, Matt Corral was the guy coming in this season. Matt Luke took him to SEC Media Days. He was the guy coming in. So the way that he has handled it and the way that Plumlee and Matt Corral rely on each other on this sideline, really impressive. You're talking about a redshirt freshman and a true freshman, and we're talking about mature young men.
Here's Isaiah Woolard. He gets his second carry in a row, and you watch him throw the football. There is no question that Matt Corral has some sort of arm on him. I mean, it is legit.
Yeah, the ball jumps out of his hands. I was impressed watching him at practice on Thursday, and he has the arm talent that you like to be able to throw in this league. And if it wasn't for the ability of Plumlee and what he brings to this offense, he would easily be the guy. That's why, like Don mentioned, he was taking the media days. Coach Luke said this is a very mature guy, and the reason why he started the year as the starting quarterback. It's fun to have two guys on the team with this kind of ability, and I think people forget that Corral is just a redshirt freshman. So that makes him, he's still a freshman in this Rich Rod system, first year in it.
Corral shows you a little bit of that arm talent. A little wide side throw. That was caught by Jaden Jackson, the true freshman. There was a game earlier this year against Alabama. Rich Rod was telling us they had 7 true freshmen playing on offense against the Crimson Tide on one series. 7.
And I asked him, did you realize? He said, well, not really. I was just calling plays. But then I had to understand, I got to slow it down. We can't do some of the same things that we need to do because we got so many young guys out there in this hostile environment. But you got to think it's going to bode well for the future. All these guys, these young guys getting all the experience in these big-time ball games, it can only bode well for this Ole Miss team.
That's a gain of 9. Second down. We'll stay on the ground and give it to Woolard. Well, here's how it's worked out for the two quarterbacks so far. You see the number of snaps favoring Matt Corral, who actually started the first 4 games of the year. The yards per play favors Plumlee, and certainly the rush game is always going to favor John Rice. Passing situation, Corral averaging 7.5 yards per completion. There's Woolard with the first down. You just wonder, it's always out there this day and age, Shock, that quarterbacks can, who can blame them? They want to play.
Yeah, and I think the bottom line is when you talk to them, you understand how competitive both guys are. And that's, I think every kid that comes to play college football, and especially in this major college football, they are so competitive. They want to play early. When I was coming out, it was more of, okay, you're going to wait your turn 2 or 3 years, and then you get in. Now, the mindset of all these kids that get into college now are, I want to play as a freshman. I want to play early. And it's paid off for some, and these two ultra-talented players are the same way. And it's one of those unique situations where I don't think they're trying to keep them happy because both guys are talented enough to play. But like you mentioned, in this day and age, a lot of coaches are trying to keep these kids happy so they can stay at that particular university.
Grant Tisdale, a true freshman from Allen, Texas, has already entered the transfer portal. He was the number 3 guy on the depth chart.
And I love the comment of Coach Luke when we talked about having so many young guys and they're playing. And he said, you know what? We're coming. That's what recruits can see. That's what the fans can see. We got so many young guys on this team. And we're going to be special here in the next couple of years. We're going to get a couple more of these good recruiting classes in. And a lot of these kids understand Ole Miss is on the rise. And from the truest words of Matt Luke there.
Matt Luke's going to call a timeout. 8:31 to go in this one. Talk about things, and we'll step aside as well. Second down and 8. Matt Corral running the show. Ball sits just outside the 25. We're on a straight power with Tyler Knight, the wide receiver, getting some action at running back. He'll pick up 6. I was like, how are you going to run with Tyler Knight? He's not exactly the biggest guy in the world. At 5'6", 170, you going to run him outside the tackles? No, he likes to get his nose in there.
I think he saw our man Ely today get some downhill runs, run over a guy near the goal line and say, I can do it just as well as he can.
There's the little guy picking up the first down. And teammate comes up hobbling as well. Looks like Jaden Jackson will limp off the field.
Jaden Jackson, another true freshman right there. And some time in this ball game, limping off there.
There are some teams out there that are really struggling where there's just not, you look at them and you're like, what's in store for next season? What can I get excited about? There's quite a bit to get excited about here. Some of these young players for Ole Miss. What's not to like about Darian Ely and Snoop, Connor, John Rice Plumlee, Matt Corral, if he stays around. You've got 3 true freshmen at wide receiver.
And I think that's why these last 3 games are pretty critical. And next week they got a really good LSU team coming to town, but they would love to be able to have extra practices with all these young guys you just mentioned to help build the future going towards next season.
There's Woolard on the carry. Gain of 4 as the clock moves under 7 minutes to go in this one. Alabama knocking on the door about to score again. They're down 13 starting the fourth quarter.
Never count them out. Looks like LSU kind of went into a shell in that third quarter. Haven't scored in an entire third quarter, and Bama storming back.
Third down. Corral. Oh, nice little move to get out of trouble. And can't get enough in the run game. Ends up being 4th down.
And here's the thing, Corral's an athletic guy himself, and you can watch him here make a couple guys miss, get up, get vertical, and it just doesn't look as athletic as Plumlee, but he's just as athletic as any other quarterback that you can watch that can run and throw. Took a shot there at the end, but that's like a little contact, especially when you've been on the sideline for 2.5, 3 quarters.
28-yard field goal attempt on the way. Luke Logan is hit from 36, missed from 48, and this one will be good for 2 out of 3 tonight. That'll stretch the lead to 41-3. Back in a moment. Game on in Tuscaloosa. Well, we knew there was going to be an offensive show with those two quarterbacks. That's pretty much what we've gotten today.
Here, 2 versus 3, that's what you like.
Yeah, man. Better than 9-6 games, right?
Yeah.
Tell you what, Mark Ingram's been in that game, the Alabama running back, and this morning getting a little feisty on Twitter.
Our prediction is a Bama beat down. We've been doing this. Every year y'all want to hype up this LSU-Bama game. We own them. They our stepson, stepchild, redheaded stepchild at that. So, yeah, roll tight all day. We finna whoop that.
He's not a confident guy, is he?
No, man. You can tell he's lacking a little confidence with that. No, but you see the numbers on the ball game today. Both QBs playing really good football for their team. Joe Burrow's got to find a way to get his offense going because they have looked like they've struggled in the third quarter. Alabama storming back.
Atkins will keep it and run right into the wall of defensive lineman for Ole Miss. Quentin Bivens getting in there to make the play for the Rebels. Anyway, that defensive front for Ole Miss, this 3-4 alignment, they're all seniors. Josiah Coatney, Benito Jones, Quentin Bivens. They've been very consistent.
And that's the one thing Coach Matt Luke talked about is we got a lot of young guys on this team, but we also want to finish this season out strong for those seniors.
Yes.
There are a bunch of guys who have been around here in some tough, hard times, and they have battled their way through and come out of it, and you see they still fight for Ole Miss, and those guys need to be rewarded for coming out the other side of all the things they've had to overcome.
Think about some of the guys that, you know, boy, what a tough situation when those NCAA sanctions came down here. I mean, college coaches from all over the country flew into town to meet with some of the players because they were free to transfer without any kind of waiting period. And, you know, it just tough times for this Rebel team, but Matt Luke and company fighting through that and getting some very talented players to come here to Ole Miss. Certainly doesn't hurt when you have some experienced coordinators running your offense and defense. Mike McIntyre on defense, standing up right there. Some great head coaching experience. And, of course, Rich Rod calling the plays as well. There is Tony, the land shark. Actually originated back in the 2008 season from senior linebacker Tony Fine, an Army veteran who served 1 year of tour in the Iraq War before arriving in Oxford. Ended up playing a couple of years here as a linebacker for the Rebels. Land shark named after the late Tony Fine. Tony passed away back in October of 2009, but his legacy at Ole Miss continues through the land shark. Obviously, with the popularity of that hand gesture, Ole Miss fans and student athletes from a bunch of other sports have taken hold of that land shark phrase, and it is stuck. I mean, they went from Colonel Reb to the Black Bear, and now we're with Tony the Land Shark. And I think the kids like it. That's always a big deal, right?
Yeah, I remember, you know, a few years back when it took off and everybody was doing it, and you couldn't miss a highlight with somebody running around with the Land Shark symbol going on. So it definitely has taken on a different love for Ole Miss fans.
Here is Tylen. Well, by the way, Marshall Henderson is now coaching. He is at Thomas College as an assistant coach, full-time paid assistant coach just out in Thomasville, Georgia, South Georgia. Wonder if he's doing the land shark sign down there. But yeah, Mo Marshall took his game overseas, played all over the place for a few years, but now is in his first stint as an assistant coach.
He could knock him down, couldn't he?
Buddy. He was something else.
He played with just a tiny bit of attitude while he played. That is pretty cool, though. Getting an opportunity to coach now, that's pretty good. I love the softball one. They were adamant about it.
Well, Ole Miss will. By the way, there's Rich Rod. Left the boot down there, coaching him up on the sidelines right now as you look at the remaining games, and they'll have to try to figure something out against LSU, which is here next Saturday, and they'll wrap things up in the Egg Bowl down in Starkville. But Rich Rod down the sidelines where he spent the majority of his career. By the way, Kincaid Dent in at quarterback. He'll get it to the 40 and stay in bounds. But we were talking to Rich Rod about being up in the booth, and he said it took you can tell it's not his comfort zone, and he has spent so much time on the field that it's kind of a unique situation for him to get used to.
Yeah, he wanted no parts of really being up in there. He says there's pros and cons, of course, to being up in the booth. You can see things a little bit better, but also there's times where he wished he could be down on the sideline and look those QBs or receivers or old linemen right in the eyes.
Deshaun Wells have it close to the first down, picks up 7 there. And they'll move the chains. That will be a first down, and Ole Miss can just wrap this up now. And Sellers shy now, getting some work at quarterback. Freshman out of Memphis. Well, Ole Miss did what they needed to do here. Yeah. And that was control this game from the opening kick, and they did. They will put together 442. There's still some time here, but right now they're 446 yards of rushing, 605 yards of offense. And they have held on to the football for 33 minutes.
And this is an offense. You think about the quarterbacks that have been under Rich Rod throughout his tenure at some different stops, and I think John Rice Plumlee fits the exact mold of some of the guys that have been around him, like a Pat White or Woody Dantzler, Khalil Tate, Denard Robinson, all athletic. They're all around that similar size of John Rice Plumlee, and they were all successful in this Rich Rod system, and looks like John Rice Plumlee is the next in line to continue that trend.
So less than 30 seconds to go in this one. That should be the final play of the game. Ole Miss about to head across the field. Matt Luke will pick up the win. Ole Miss will go to 4-6 on the season. New Mexico State's losing streak will go to 9-0-9. But a 41-3 win for Matt Luke and company here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. Plumlee's going to be a little bummed, I think, when he gets in the locker room, finds out that he needed 2 yards to set the single-game quarterback rushing record for Ole Miss. Overall, though, pretty impressive show from John Rice here tonight.
Yeah, I wanted to see him throw the football in this ball game, and I thought from a fundamental standpoint with his feet, they were on point. They were under him. They were precise. He did a good job on sprint outs and rollouts, getting downhill. And then when he threw in rhythm, when he threw on time, you could tell he was comfortable in his system, made some unorthodox throws, arm angle-wise. But today showed a lot, I think, to a lot of fans and the people around the country that this guy will be able to throw the football down the field and have the opportunity to hurt teams, not just with his legs, but with his arms as well.
All right, let's go down to Dawn.
Yeah, I'm actually with the quarterback you guys are talking about. Heck of a performance for you tonight. More than 300 yards total, 177 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. What keyed that performance with your legs?
Really, the guys that are up front blocking, they do a great job for us. And even on their perimeter, when the receivers don't get the ball, them going out there making really big blocks for us is a major key of it. And running backs just they amaze me every game. You know how they run so hard, draws the defense to them, which makes it easy for me when I pull it. So I'm really proud of the guys for sure.
This coaching staff talks about the relationship that you and Matt Corral have, and it was fun to watch you guys on the sideline communicate. Describe that relationship to everybody.
It's pretty special, you know. Matt was a one-of-a-kind guy for sure, and he's always in my corner, no matter what, and I can really tell that, and that really means the world to me. And when he's in there, I'm in his corner. We just want to win. You know, we're competitors, and so who's ever in the game, we want the best for him.
A big game next week with LSU. What do you take from this performance tonight as you look ahead to next week?
Got a bad taste of our mouth this week, you know, and so really excited to work hard this week and correct the stuff that we did this week to build on for next week for sure.
You were a yard shy of a single season rushing record today. Did you know that? You have any clue?
I had no idea.
Okay. Single game, but that's all right. Great performance. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.